Okay, everyone. It's Monica Bravo, and today we are talking about triggers and how triggers are our teachers. Now, if you've been following me for a while, you know that I am a shamanic hypnotherapist and healer. I've been teaching yoga for over 20 years and done a lot of health coaching, worked with people on patterns, behaviors, addictions, anger, emotions, and triggers. So today we're talking about triggers. So if you have a comment, post it below. But I just want you to take a moment and think about a time. If you ever felt like you were standing in front of a door holding a key, but for some reason you can't seem to turn it on. So you have the key, you're standing in front of the door, you're holding the key, but for some reason you can't seem to turn it. That is your subconscious mind at play. It's not the key that doesn't fit. It is that you haven't fully trusted yourself to unlock what's on the other side of the door. Now, today is day 2 of our 11-day healing and empowerment. Day 1, we talked about subconscious beliefs and how our subconscious is literally driving our actions, our patterns, our behaviors. And especially during this time of the holidays, many of us are not even seeing that we're being triggered, that our subconscious is actually running the show. So you may think that you have control. You may think that it's that you can white knuckle it. You can use your willpower. You can do things like that, but it doesn't work long term. And that's what we talked about yesterday. We talked about how these subconscious behaviors and why affirmations will not work long term or positive thinking because alone they don't work. Alone, they don't work. And I really want you to realize this today. Yesterday, we uncovered how our unconscious, our subconscious, some of you call it, shape our lives and why tools like hypnosis, soul journeys, soul retrieval, shadow work are so transformative. Okay, they're so transformative. And I am running this live on multiple avenues. So I want you to know that I'm looking at 2 different screens. I will be checking in. If you have a comment, just post below. And if you want, please, or when you're ready, please join my free Facebook group. So I want you to think about what you wrote down yesterday, where you feel stuck in your life, what you journaled about. And I've got messages from people, emails from people about this. What's lurking beneath the surface? What gave you clarity? Now, some of you realize that a lot of this has to do with your family saying, implanting some of these beliefs into your mind, right? So send me a heart if that's you. Have these been implanted in your being? It happens. Our parents didn't mean to do it. Our grandparents, our teachers, these are things that just happen. So let's just be honest here. Triggers are uncomfortable. They bring up emotions, anger, sadness, frustration, fear. Triggers bring up a lot of fear. And we can either choose to deal with them, be with them, which is a lot of what I teach in Live Your Bliss method is be with them so that you can transform them, so that you can shift them. Instead of avoiding, running away, what if you actually saw your triggers as valuable clues? What if when you go into a room and somebody says something to you, I know it happens to me a lot with my kids, my partner, my parents. Yeah, how many people, their mother or their father triggers them? It still happens. So every time you feel that lump in your throat, that knot in your stomach, it's not just a reaction. It's an invitation. It's an invitation for you to heal. And this is so important to me because I spent so much time in the shadows, in the dark. That's why it's so important to me, y'all, because I spent so much time letting these triggers run the show. And I don't want that for you. So that's why I chose with my guides, with my ancestors, with my team, my spiritual team to share this with you because I don't want you to go through that. I don't want you to go through another year living with triggers, with shadows, with doubt. I don't want that for you. And I hope you can feel this coming across today. I don't want that for you. So every time you're triggered, when that lump arises in your throat, when your stomach feels like, oh, fuck, again? It's not a reaction. It's an invitation. Can you stop and say, hey, what is this about? Because I'll tell you, for most of us, it's a shadow. It's something that needs to be healed, something that you're holding on to, that it's time to move forward and you can choose. Avoid it, lean into it. I think Elena's on here. She would say you can put it on the shelf for a minute, but these triggers are your choice. Are you going to avoid them, continue to avoid them? Are you going to lean into them? Are you going to ask yourself, what do you want me to know? Like for me in the mornings when I'm journaling, it's like to my higher self, what is it? What is best for me today? What do you want me to know? But when those triggers come up, most of us we're running away. We're running quick. But what if you sat with those triggers and was like, okay, this is interesting. There's where the healing happens. Because if you're going to choose to spend another day, it's a choice, everyone. If you're going to choose to run away and not look into yourself, those wounds are just going to be below the surface, festering. So I'm going to repeat today's day 2 of our empowerment and healing. And yesterday we talked about the subconscious mind. Today we're talking about triggers. And I want you to remember these are for you to pay attention. Pay attention to this. Your mama's she's triggering you for a reason. So is your partner or your boyfriend or your girlfriend. My girlfriends, my sisters, everyone they're triggers. They're triggers. But what if you just took a moment and let's get our journal like my my sister, love you if you're watching. My sister made me mad because just write it down or my mom or my friend or I feel triggered because, right? And if you can stop and go, hey, I feel triggered because, you know what? These are deep rooted things that are in us. Like because I feel rejected, because I don't feel like I belong, because I don't feel safe. I mean, whew, how many times am I going to cry on this live today? How long have you spent not feeling safe? Peace to you, love. How long have you been in your body not feeling safe, unworthy, or feeling this scarcity, right? Remember, these are triggers that show us where we need healing. And let's just start to approach them with curiosity instead of judgment. And we can use some of these triggers as like super beneficial also. If you haven't heard the story, my mom, when I was like probably 10 years ago, we were having lunch and she would say, why do you always call yourself a healer? And I laugh at it now, but it pissed me off back then. And I talk about it in my book, Soul Retrieval, is, you know, I knew in my knowing, in my being, who I was, but I was questioned about who I was, right? So I proved to myself my healing abilities, got all the certifications, right? Psychic, Akashic, yoga teacher, NLP master, master hypnotherapist. I have them all. And that's why I'm sharing these with you because as a manifesting generator, as a multifaceted healer and teacher, I am here to guide and lead so that you aren't making the same mistakes I made and taking 10, 20 years, right? So we have triggers, we have patterns, and they're all tied to our subconscious. They surface when something in the present moment reminds us of an unresolved past experience. This is why they're so intense because they remind us of an unresolved past experience. It's like that's why we call them shadows, right? They're intense. They're not just about this current situation. We might go, why is that person pissing me off? Right? Why is that person pissing me off? Why are they making me so uncomfortable? And mind you, I know a lot of us are clairvoyant, clairaudient, clairsentient, and you can feel things with people. But when someone says something to you or does something, I want you to type in the comments like, what is it that they do? Just think about the holidays that trigger you, and know that a lot of it's not about the current situation. You know, I remember my parents right now, it's coming up. My parent and I, every time pictures come up in my mind about when I'm talking about something about my past, it's my opportunity to heal. But my parents would be like, don't ever sit on a man's lap. It's a huge one. Don't ever do that, right? And um and I think about it now because through my healing, through soul retrieval, through regressions and bringing all the fragment parts of myself, I can get on my partner's lap and hug him and kiss him and feel happiness. But I had to work through that. And these pictures, let me know, comment below, like when you are talking about something or you see something, sometimes the unconscious mind can bring up a picture for you. Now, if you don't know this yet, some people say like think, feel, act, right? And as you can see, I'm channeling a lot today, a lot of information. I talk really fast. So watch this again later. But think, feel, act. It's actually not think, feel, act because we see everything before we think it. And some of you may believe, no, I feel it first. Well, actually, your unconscious mind is actually seeing a picture. Okay. So if you allow yourself to go, oh, what is that picture from? And if you allow yourself to explore it, like, why am I seeing that? Right? This is what I do with my clients in hypnosis. It's interesting because they'll often say in hypnosis, I'm not sure why this is coming up. It's coming up because this is your opportunity to heal it. It's coming up because it's your opportunity to see it. I'm like sweating and like whew, I have all these chills coming down my spine. So this is for all of you. If you don't take time to heal these triggers, you can call them shadows, they're going to keep showing up. And you'll find yourself in this repeated cycle, similar conflicts, similar things happening, right? I was with a girlfriend this weekend having dinner and I was healing something in the morning. It was like, I really, as a Latina in California in 1976, 1980s, is I didn't really think that there were things that were for me. And if there's a lot of, Latinas here, anyone of color, like you might have thought I did. Like that's for those people, not for me. Like going on trips, going on fancy dinners, doing all that stuff. Like I didn't do that in my family. Like we didn't do that. And I had this thing for a long time. Like that's for them. That's not for me. Right? But now I realize, and I wanted to bring this back, as a couple weeks ago, I was at the Duomo in Milan having dinner where my boyfriend took me, my partner, like looking at the Duomo and eating dinner. And I did an anchoring. I don't know if any of you do anchoring, but I teach this in the Live Your Bliss method. I did an anchoring and just like sat in this moment to anchor in my body, like, yes, this is for me. I am that. I am no longer that little girl that I thought I was. I'm not that anymore. I'm grown. So we can take these times to heal. I'm going to look over here and then I'm going to go back and check the other comments. Yes, people trigger my insecurities. Oh, yeah, me too, girl. Certain people remind me of the work I need to do around my personal value. Yeah, it's so true. Like, And that could be a good thing. It could be a good thing that people remind you of doing the work around your personal values. I work with one-on-one clients on their values. And the reason why values for me are so important is because it's either a fuck yes or fuck no. If people are not in your values and they cannot respect your values and you're in a partnership, right? That the person is not respecting your values, then you can be like, I'm getting off this train, right? I'm getting off because my values, number one is healing with spirit, my family, my health, right? Leading. I'm trying to think of the fifth one. I better remember it soon. But knowing your values every day and people stepping into your values, you can be like, nope, yep. And as a manifesting generator, I feel very lucky because a lot of times people ask me to do things and I'm like, nope. And I remember dating years ago, I'd have guys I was dating, they'd be like, wow, that was quick. But it's like in your gut, you know, right? In your gut, you know. Yes, if it's good because I'm conscious, but if it wasn't, it would beat you up for sure. It gives you that opportunity to like look and see what's up for you today because, 5 years ago it was something else and 10 years ago is probably something different. Let me check the Facebook group for comments. Trust yourself to unlock. Yes, for sure. All right. So let's keep going. I said 10 to 20 minutes. This is going longer. Okay. So, I wrote notes here. I was downloading this morning and it's been really nice. So, again, when we ignore these triggers, we're stuck in a reaction, and that's what Courtney is saying over here. Because if you're not conscious of it, you're reactive. You lash out, you shut down, you avoid. You're like, I don't want to be around that person, or I don't want to do that thing, or you avoid situations that make you uncomfortable, which eventually it keeps you secluded. It keeps you stuck from growth. I mean, you can choose to not be around family or friends or other people, but when you can heal some of these triggers, then you can move with love. You can move with just seeing it. You can move with, wow, that's interesting. I really like that. One of my colleagues, Katya, she says that a lot, is like, make it interesting. It's very interesting because that's a language we can change. So, for a lot of people, especially in my Facebook group that are business owners, that are psychics, spiritual entrepreneurs, yoga teachers, Pilates teachers, healers, hypnotherapists, if you don't address these triggers, they're going to hold you back in your business because we talked about this yesterday, you're going to want to get online. You want to be seen. You want to be known. You want to share your gifts. But then another piece of you is like, oh no, there was a belief that I was supposed to be seen, not heard, or what I say doesn't matter, right? These will keep you stuck. And I know many of you come to me for visibility blocks, right? So these are the things we want to unblock. And if you haven't got my abundance activation kit, I will add the link in my bio. I just realized it's probably not in there, but this I created. It's three hypnosis sessions that you can listen to as you fall asleep. Please don't feel like you have to stay awake. I've had people tell me I stayed awake through the whole thing. You don't have to. Because what we're doing is we're healing, we're activating, and we're seeing what happened. We're healing what happened, and we're creating new patterns, new programs, which I'd rather let happen in the unconscious mind. So, unaddressed triggers, they'll hold you back in your business, they'll create tension in your relationships, and they'll make you feel disconnected from your true self. How many of you feel that sometimes? Like, who am I? Right? And maybe you're doing things in your life that somebody else told you to do, right? instead of doing what you really want to do. So when you have a trigger, when you feel a trigger, lean into them so that you can uncover the real story underneath. That's where the transformation happens. Uncover the story. Okay. So today, what I want, kind of inspired to do some light language healing today, but I may do that at the end. But I want you to grab a piece of paper, journal, or open your phone and just type in your notes. I do this a lot. I talk in my phone a lot. Notice today, notice when you, or write down when you felt a strong emotional reaction to something or someone. I mean, you can get triggered all the time. I think I was triggered this morning because I didn't want to take my dog for a walk yet. It's like, no, I want my time. I don't want to go outside. I was triggered, right? Because it was like, what about me? I had that. So take a moment to ask yourself, what is this feeling trying to teach me today? What belief or wound might be under this reaction? What belief or wound might be under this reaction? So write down what happened. Maybe it was something over the holidays. What happened? How did you feel about it? And how may it be connected to your past? And share the insights in the group, or you can send me a message. I would love that because we want to unpack this. We want to make sure that we can see some of these. And if you're having difficulty, I am offering the next couple weeks before I return to Italy for the new year is if you want to do a hypnosis session or a regression, I do all of my healings through the Akashic records. So, because it's just another way to open and to be open to our higher guidance, to be open to another level of healing. So, if it's something you want, just send me a message because that's what I'll do any day. Any day, I will do hypnosis. I will do soul retrieval. I'll do shamanic work. I'll remove emotional blocks. Every day, that's what I love to do. Okay. If you have some patterns, some behaviors, you have mad cravings, this is a sign for deeper healing that needs to occur. And that's a good thing, right? So if you want to go deeper in understanding your triggers and subconscious patterns, next week I'll be sharing my group program, your Live Your Bliss program. And this is really to uncover these triggers, these subconscious beliefs, to heal them and to take quantum leaps. Because when you learn to time hop and take quantum leaps, you can surpass these patterns. So I want you to post below for me. Just let me know what came up for you today. What came up for you today? And then we will do day 3 tomorrow. In day 3, we're going to go deeper into this work, deeper into this healing work. Every day, we're uncovering some more truth about ourselves. And if you haven't grabbed my book on Amazon, Soul Retrieval, please go grab it because these are the things I teach is to bring back the parts of ourself that we've lost. Okay. Tomorrow we'll be clearing a money block. We'll be clearing a money block. So let's do that. So let's just take a couple breaths. Let's clear any energy that's stuck in the womb area, in the creative center, the sacral chakra. So you can put your hands there, take a couple deep breaths. Couple deep breaths here. Just feeling that energy from your sacral connect down into the root, down, down, down into Mother Earth. Anything you're holding, just pull it in, breathe it in, and then exhale it out. Give it to Mother Earth, give it to Gaia. Let her hold it for you. Let her dissolve, transform it for you. Good. Big breath in. You just imagine this bright white light from the Creator down into the crown. Exhale out of your mouth, giving it back, pushing it down, letting it move through the pelvis, through the feet, all the way down, 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 all the way down. Letting it dissolve, release, letting it all go, all go. I'm just going to do a little lightweight language healing for you. Let it go. Good. Bring your hands to your chest, to your heart center, and just be in this for a moment. Know that you have the opportunity as a human to heal so that you don't have to deal with this in your next lifetime, right? We're clearing this from all time, space, any contracts, oaths, seen or unseen. We're just releasing those, letting it go. If you feel any cords or connections attached to you, just grab them, pull them out. Grab them, pull them out. All the way, clear that energy. You can just imagine yourself now walking through a door, and now you have that key. Now you have the knowing. You have the key. You can open the door, walk through that door, and as you walk through that door, just notice all cords, all connections, any attachments of people to you are gone. Are gone. Good. All right, everyone. Have a beautiful day. These will be up in the group until, let's see, I'm looking at the calendar here. So I'm going to leave these up until the full moon on December 20th. Okay? So make sure you're watching these lives. Have a blessed day. Namaste, everyone.